This is The Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Good afternoon, Tuscaloosa. Internet world, West Alabama, how we doing today on this Thursday? It's February the 6th, and you're watching The Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central, BamaCentral.com. You're listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon. We're hanging out with you live inside the Derry Daniel State Farm Studios, just off of McFarland Boulevard, and we're excited for another day, another episode right here on Bama Central and BamaCentral.com, talking all things Alabama sports and more. We invite you guys to jump in and join us on the comment section at Joe Gaither6. You can find us on your favorite social media machine or right there at the Bama Central YouTube channel. Comments. We appreciate you guys so much for jumping in and joining us. We're going to have a interesting show of sorts today. A little bit of a conglomerate hodgepodge week, but we will keep that going right here on the show today. We want to say thank you, Derek Daniel, for having us. Make sure you call Derek at 205-758-3391 for all of your insurance needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm, and Derek Daniel is there. Call and see how much Derek can save you today. We're here with my friend Mason Woods, writing all things recruiting for all the Walsh Writing Network. You can follow Mason Woods at MAWoods_. Mason was not as busy as we all wish he were yesterday for National Signing Day. But did you recover? Are your fingers still feeling good?
Sure. Yeah, I'm feeling all right. You know, it was, like you said, a bit of a slow day, slower than I maybe would have hoped for because I missed the signing days of old. But here we are. You know, yeah, my hands aren't too sore today. Fingertips are doing all right. So, yeah, we're feeling good.
Okay, Mason, what do we want to talk about today? No Alabama basketball midweek game to lean on as far as, easy content. You have Alabama and Arkansas this Saturday, and Arkansas actually looks like they are turning a corner. Is John Cal? Did John Calipari click? Go ahead.
They were up by like 25 on Texas, and then Texas got back within 5 at one point. So have they really turned a corner that much?
Okay, we'll get into that a little bit more tomorrow, looking at Arkansas and Alabama. What do we want to do today?
I did see right before we started, just really quickly, Ryan Day has signed a massive extension. 7 years, $12.5 million total every year.
Great. He's the national championship winning coach. He should.
What are they going to do when he loses to Michigan again?
Nothing, because they're going to go back to the playoff.
Do you think that Ohio State fans are there? Have they come to grips with the Alabama fans like they did in 2019, where it's just the Iron Bowl didn't even matter? Because I still see a lot of Ohio State fans that seem to be pretty upset about the Michigan game on Twitter.
That's because they're not very smart. If you're upset about losing a rivalry game, but a month later winning the national championship game,
the college football playoff.
You know, talk about wrestling from time to time on the show. I've noticed this the entire Royal Rumble. Right as the entrance was coming out, there was a sign. All the wrestling fans holding the sign. It says, "What did it say? No matter who the champion is, it's still been 1,000 some odd days since Ohio State beat Michigan." It was all about Ohio State losing to Michigan still, and it was like the counter of how it's 4 years in a row or something. So that was that. They were like, we paid all our money for this Royal Rumble ticket just so we could be on TV, and every time a wrestler runs past, everyone knows that Michigan is still superior to Ohio State.
I respect it.
I do too. Great. I think both sides are celebrating. Look, if you're a Michigan fan, you're like, yeah, keep that guy. He can't beat us. But you just won the national title, Ohio State. Like, you got to reward him. You got to pay him. You got to keep him. You want to let him walk out the door?
No, certainly.
Then okay. And if you lose to Michigan again this year, are you going to fire him? No. Like, he just won the national title.
Mm-hmm.
He's got you in position almost every single year.
It is an interesting spot, though. Certainly to me. It's just a very funny situation. The one game that matters the most every year. It's like, man, I cannot figure it out. I'm so good everywhere else, though.
That's kind of how I feel about, Chicago Bears and the Packers. We can lose 15 games if we can get those two. Now, those two have been very, very, very elusive over.
Hey, you got the one this year.
We got the first time in like 10 years winning up in Lambeau Field this year. So I understand it, and yes, that does make like I won't. So what was it? 2018 when the Bears were actually good and they still lost the Packers. I was like, I don't care how good we are. I don't care.
How long would Alabama fans put up with losing to Auburn? Say it's consecutive. What was it? 2000 whatever to 2006,
right? 6 years, six years in a row. Tuberville won for the thumb.
I just remember watching one of them, and I think it was the 5th year in a row when it had happened. And Auburn's quarterback at the time, I think it was Brandon Cox.
Gosh, yeah,
was holding up 6, and I just remember thinking that was really funny as a kid. But yeah, I mean, something like that happens. DeBoer wins 2-3 titles in that span. How long do Bama fans let him continue to lose to Auburn if a title's coming every year, every other year?
I hope forever.
I would hope forever too, but I don't think that the Crimson Tide faithful thinks that way.
I mean,
especially fans maybe in the older generation. I think the younger fans potentially would be more okay with it. But I think certainly the older swath of Crimson Tide fans would maybe not let that slide after 2-3 years.
Well, it wasn't like Nick Saban's record was perfect. Again.
No.
Okay, so you're 2-1, 4-1, 4-2. You're 7-2, 7-3.
Did he ever lose back to back?
No, 8-3, 8-4. Yeah, 8-4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-4.
Pretty good.
Okay, yeah.
Better than I realized, to be honest. I was expecting a couple more losses.
And all these losses, all 4 losses, well, 3 of the 4 losses came in Auburn.
Yeah.
The one in Tuscaloosa.
That was the
comeback. People always talk about the kick 6.
Oh, no, it was, yeah.
Yeah, no, the one in Tuscaloosa was the comeback.
Yeah.
And my point, people always talk about the 2013 kick 6, right? And, the worst loss in there. No. The comeback was much worse.
It was so bad to watch.
It was much, much, much worse.
Yeah, that's bringing up some just nightmarish memories.
Mm-hmm. All right, Ryan Day, congratulations. You just got paid a boatload of money, and they promoted Brian Hartline Jr. to offensive coordinator after losing Chip Kelly went to the Raiders, right?
Yeah. Pairing it with Pete Carroll. Interesting coaching staff.
All right, I just got a little notification from Schefter. New home for Bears OC. Oh my gosh. The Jaguars are hiring Shane Waldron. Good luck with that. Really good luck with that. I hope that works out really well for you.
Go ahead, Jacksonville. You fumbled this entire offseason thus far. Might as well keep doing it.
No, that's not. Look. I don't think that there are football players on this earth that are capable of running Shane Waldron's system. On this entire earth, you walk to the line of scrimmage with a concept of a play, and we're going to read it out real time. That is the stupidest method. Like, of course, that's the 4D chess. Well, if I start running my fly route and I read it's this coverage, I'm changing it to that. All 11 of us are doing that at the same time. Like, of course, he just makes me ill.
It's okay. It just continues to, the Titans will never be the worst team in the AFC South. So it'll always be the Jags.
Thank you, Jacksonville. Thank you, Jacksonville Jaguars. Did you see, speaking of the Jaguars, Shad Khan, the yacht he took to New Orleans? I guess he's ridden it all the way around Jacksonville, around the Gulf of America into...
I think it has a crew of 34 people I saw was the crew for that.
Why do you need a yacht that has, I think it was 3 pools? You're on the water.
He worked for it, Joe.
Look, great luck.
No, nobody needs a damn yacht that big. I don't care how much you worked. It's ridiculous. It's so stupid. I saw
That's a dumb feature.
So many people yesterday. He has every right to own a 6,000-foot yacht.
He does.
I don't care. You are a piece of garbage, Shad Khan.
He has that right, but that's a stupid feature to me. 3 pool, you're on the water. If you want to go swimming, jump off the boat.
It's just so dumb. You know what? I I probably wouldn't want to jump off the boat in and around New Orleans either. So I get
You're
that.
right. You're right. Lots of funky water right there.
He might be using all 3 of those swimming pools, but so ridiculous to me. I don't know. Like, your team is horrible.
Yeah, but he can't.
Let's spend a little bit of that yacht money and get some free agents in town.
The salary cap still exists. Or you want to pay for visits, the NIL model?
Sure, yeah.
We're going to pay $5,000 for a visit, but you ramp it up to the NFL scale. We'll pay $5 million to come visit Jacksonville and hear our pitch.
We'll sell you on it.
Oh,
it's got to be a tough sell.
I've never been to Jacksonville.
I thank the Lord I've never been to Jacksonville. I've never heard a good thing about it, though.
All right, so we didn't want to talk. Well, actually, we'll start right there. We'll just jump the third topic up to the first topic. Ryan Grubb officially getting announced as we got started. I mean, we hit it on Monday a little bit, but you can look at this press release a little bit and use a little content. Finally, we have our press release from the University of Alabama. Alex Thompson and his crew doing a great job getting the information out. We appreciate you, Alex, and your crew.
Significantly more information than was available on Yay Alabama, worth noting.
Well, they had like 5 more days to do it.
I care not. You had infinite days to do it when you broke the story yourself.
You could have kept it a secret until you had a full 5-page feature.
You did the cool basketball pop stroke thing. That was neat, but you're like 5 in the loss column still with only the 1 victory to me. I'm still not a fan of yours, Yay Alabama.
And the issue, just going off that, is like on the internet, all that matters is the last 5 minutes. So that pop stroke video was great, but that was now an hour and a half ago, and we're in the last 5 minutes. So Yay Alabama, we got to keep it going. Yeah. Keep droplet into the well. Why do we do this show 5 days a week? Because when I did it 2 or 3 or 4 days a week, or was inconsistent, the numbers did not look good.
Yeah, it's I don't know. To me, that's just it's very weird. Like, it's a bad look on Yay Alabama, to me, and I think it should be to anyone that the university athletic program releases their own press release a few days after Yay Alabama breaks the news themselves and forces you to pay for it to read it, and it's like 400 words with a quote from Coach DeBoer, a quote from somebody, all this information about, he's been here, this is what his family's like, this is where he's. I just don't understand, why was that not part of the thing that people had to pay to read?
I don't understand.
It's so bad.
And
you're not. There's no synergy there.
I would like to understand it.
We're working against each other within the same athletic department. Why
exactly.
are we doing this?
I would like to understand it because ultimately, mask off. I am pulling for you.
Yeah, I want to be. We said it earlier in the week. Like, I want to be on your side, but you gotta earn that. I'm not just gonna blindly be on your side, Yay Alabama, because right now, you're not being very kind to fans. You're not being very good to the people that are paying their hard-earned money to support you.
That might be a theme for the show when we talk about these tickets in a little bit. We're going to talk about Ryan Grubb. We're going to talk about season tickets as we got more information from our Monday conversation, or maybe a different perspective off our Monday conversation. We'll talk about that, and we will talk about Jalen Milroe changing from a zebra into a dog, from a cat to a giraffe to an elephant to a quarterback to a wildcat. We'll talk about all that as well. Let's start with Ryan Grubb, since you brought us up with Ryan Day's hire, and we're talking coaching hires. Okay, here we go. We have a nice little 700-word essay from the athletic department. Ryan Grubb, this is from Kalen DeBoer. Ryan Grubb has been someone that I've trusted for a long time, and adding him to our staff only improves the quality of coaches we have here in Alabama. He is one of the best offensive minds in the country, and I can't wait to see what he brings to our organization moving forward. This is from Coach Ryan Grubb. I am thankful to get an opportunity to work with Coach DeBoer once again and to be part of an offensive staff that I'm very familiar with. I am confident that our staff will be able to put the team in the best position to win each time out. I know and trust that this group of coaches and players will work tirelessly, to meet the standard that has been set here at Alabama. I can't wait to get out on the field with them. Okay. Grubb comes to Tuscaloosa after spending 1 year as offensive coordinator during the 24-25 campaign. The Seahawks are ranked 5th in the NFL for passing yards. That's with Geno Smith, folks, with 4,379 yards, 4,300 of those from Geno Smith himself, a career high in passing yards for him. It made my boy Jackson Smith and Jigba a fantasy hero on my fantasy football team.
Sure.
So, where are we? I'm kind of still where I was on Monday. I know when we first talked about Ryan Grubb being hired to the staff, I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. But all that was contingent on keeping Nick Sheridan. Now that you've kept Nick Sheridan, and I assume the Board of Trustees have worked out all the salaries and everybody's happy with what their paycheck is coming in, I think this is great.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Give me the Kool-Aid. I'm getting drunk.
I think just objectively, you're in a better spot than you were last season. You didn't lose anybody really notable, and you brought in someone extremely notable. So I think you should feel very good about this staff. You know, Bama fans. I think the prospect of what this offense now could look like, given just another coach that has a very high level of comfortability with Jalen DeBoer and has that ability to probably maybe take a little bit of the weight off of him and do some things himself a little more so than Nick Sheridan was able to. I just think it's fantastic for everyone involved. I think it's a win-win for the whole coaching staff. It's a win for the team. It's just great. I'm very, very excited. I mean, you said it. One of the best passing offenses in the NFL, with certainly not one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
I mean, Geno's not horrible,
No,
but Geno,
very middling.
You're never going to be my first, but you're not going to be my third pick. You're not going to be my 8th pick.
He's right in that like 13 to 17 range if we're ranking quarterbacks, probably.
Yeah, and I still would probably pick him like 20th because I don't like old guys.
I mean, I think a lot of his success has been scheme dependent.
Yeah. Okay, so you bring in Ryan Grubb. That's official. Everything is on track. Mason, I'll give you this assignment for next week because we'll talk about this next week. We will steal from some of our counterparts as spring practice is coming up soon. Not today because we're not prepared for it. I don't want to spring it on you. I want us to next week talk about the 10 players that we're most excited to see spring practice. And if you guys want to come in on the comments, you can let us know who you're excited to see for spring practice. If you are, I mean, is Keelan Russell going to be number 1? Or is it going to just be all 3 quarterbacks, 1, 2, and 3?
Austin Mack, 1 through 10.
Yeah.
Maybe Isaiah Horton. I'm excited about Isaiah Horton.
So we'll do that next week as we daydream about Ryan Grubb and his offense. Ryan Grubb, Nick Sheridan, and Jamar. I think you're going to see a 3-man collaboration where those 3 guys all do portions of the work. You're probably going to have one guy, doing the red zone. You're probably going to have one guy doing third downs. You're probably going to have one guy doing first and second downs. And the 3 of them are going to stick their heads together. And on Sunday evening, when Coach DeBoer walks in, it's like, all right, guys, what's the plan? And they roll it out. Coach DeBoer's going to be like, that's nice. I got 1 note and we're gone. Like, it's not going to be, I have so many notes here.
Everything's going to be very streamlined.
Yeah, I'm excited about the kind of possibility of what it will look like as a team. And,
it just really opens everything up for the coaching staff. It takes, like we were saying, it allows DeBoer to play more of that overarching role where he can focus on kind of the big picture things maybe instead of the smaller like play-to-play stuff. Even into like the recruiting, he doesn't have to be as locked in on like, oh my God, I have to figure out our entire game plan myself basically this week. It's like, no, hey, I need to make a call to 2026 5-star. Shoot, call him up. I'd talk to him for an hour. I got time. I got 3 other coaches who are working on the offensive game plan. And then, you can just leave Kane Womack to do whatever he wants. He's going to – that defense this year, talk about exciting. Wow, they picked it up towards the end of the year. Obviously, there were some hiccups, here and there with some quarterback runs. But I just think overall I'm very, very excited about what they showed and, getting more comfortable in his scheme as the year went on.
So whoop-de-doo. New offensive coordinator officially hired. Thanks so much for all the hoopla over the last month. Is he coming? Is he not coming? Let's keep going here with some actual juice because I want to get your perspective on this. On Monday, we talked about what we were seeing on Facebook in a lot of different places, a lot of different Alabama fan groups. You guys are probably in them. You probably saw these things. Lots of people posting about the university took my season tickets. The university revoked my season tickets. The university canceled my season tickets, whatever you want, verbiage you want to use. And on Monday, we said, oh, yeah, it says it right there in the fine print. You can't sell your tickets to third-party, to ticket brokers, and, they reserve the rights to take your tickets. If you do that, if they find out you're doing that. And really, my perspective was, well, the university can do that because you've got a waiting list that is so large that they can basically police very hard. All right, so we were in agreement, were we?
Yeah, certainly. I
continue, I want to.
I am absolutely in agreement. If you are buying these season tickets and then not turning around and showing up to these games, you deserve to have them taken.
So something happened to me yesterday. Well, really, I was in these groups and I commented because I thought these posts. Look, sometimes you get in these Facebook groups and you get so much fake hooey from
folks just want to stir the pot.
Foreign countries, we'll say that. Literally, foreign countries that say they'll post articles that are like Alabama coach fired, and it's a link to nothing, and Alabama player says, or Alabama in trouble, and it's a link to absolutely nothing. And so those things drive me nuts. And so I thought at first this is a fake story because it was getting spammed everywhere. So this is getting thrown everywhere. Like, this looks like a robot who is just trying to suck up engagement and get you to comment so they can add you as a friend and they can start getting with you and then steal your information through mess. There's just ways that happens. Yeah. And so that's my thought. I thought, oh, this is fake. And because I thought it was fake, please, admin, cancel this post, basically. And I get, oh, this is not fake. I'm not fake in the comments. And I thought, okay, that's exactly what a bot would say, whatever. And then I get a message from this person. Hey, I'm not fake. This is my real name. I'm using an alias because I didn't want to get hacked or whatnot. I'm using an alias. Call me if you want to talk about this. And I'm like, well, am I about to call a robot in Bangladesh that's about to
try to get you to buy some gift cards?
That or just copy my voice to use my voice authorization, that sort of thing. Okay, and I'm like, well, screw it. I don't have any money anyways for them to steal. I might as well check it out. And I called yesterday, and a gentleman, not from Bangladesh, but very, very American and Alabama sounding. We're not going to use any names here because I want to protect this fellow's identity. Talk to me about an hour, saying I've had tickets since 2003, 2004, when Alabama was really bad. That's when I signed up for tickets. I had a friend who said, hey, man,
that was a good time to get in.
Exactly. That was his point. He had a friend that said, hey, there's a lot of people turning over their tickets because the team's so bad, the program's so awful. I think that you might want to get tickets for, maybe a future son that's a young son, family package, whatever. And he buys 4 tickets. And you know this if you're paying attention. If you don't know this, the way it goes, you have to donate to the university in order to purchase the tickets. The tickets are nice round number. This is not the number, but just a nice round number. Let's say it's $200 a game, or it's $100 a game.
You also have to then subscribe to Alabama.
That's part of it, right? That's now. It probably is part of it now.
Probably right.
And we might be heading there. You have to donate $3,000, $6,000, $10,000, $15,000, something to be invited to buy the tickets. The tickets are $100 a pop or whatever. And so what? $100, 6 games. It's a $600 package. And you're like, oh, I can afford $600. No, you can't, because you have to donate $3,000, $6,000, whatever the case may be. What are the arbitrary
a lot of hidden costs?
Right. In order to buy the $600 ticket. Okay. So there we are. So the fellow that I'm talking to yesterday, I've been making, and you donate every year. You make this donation every year. in order to buy the tickets.
Mm.
Okay. So I've been making my donation every year. And he says that he just gets this letter in the mail or a letter in the email. Your season tickets, thank you for your Tide Pride, but we're revoking you. And he says, I've never sold my tickets to a ticket broker. I said, and I could tell just by his voice that he was over 55. Voice, I don't want to say any older than that. He was definitely older than 55. He might have been 75, maybe.
Older gentleman.
Right. And he says, I wouldn't even know how to use a ticket broker. I wouldn't even know how to, and as he's talking, I'm thinking about the Facebook activities that I saw, and I thought, yeah, total, a lot of older tendencies of just like, not understanding who's commenting back to him, responding to people that he, that sort of thing. Yeah. And that's okay. You're older generation. You can grow up with it. Sure. You're just trying to make it by. Okay. So he's telling me that he's getting this. I wouldn't even know how to sell. And I'm like, all right, well, what do you think happened? What do you think happened? Because something has happened. Sure. And he says, because we talked about it on Monday, the way to transfer your tickets is through the Tide Pride portal, the Roll Tide portal, where you sign in your email and
they take all your information.
Exactly.
Track everything you do with it.
And every time that I have not worked a game and gone to a game and gotten a ticket from someone, it is I have to sign into my Roll Tide portal and accept ticket transfer from Billy Smith or from Johnny Smith. And great. Thank you, Billy and Johnny Smith, for all your tickets, for sure. And it's usually a very easy process. You just click the link, you log in, accept ticket, bam, it's on your phone.
Be a little simpler if it was just like, oh, piece of card stock. Here, thank you. Here is the cash.
That would be easiest, but the university couldn't track you down as much. He says, I live several hours away. I bought these tickets because my son's enrolled, and I wanted him to make sure he had tickets. I've kept them because he's still living over there, yada, yada, yada. He said, most of the time, I end up using the Roll Tide portal and transferring the whole set to my friend. And he goes. He loves it. He's ever there. He's the. So he said, I said, so you never sold your tickets to StubHub, to Ticketmaster, to Vivid Seats, any of those guys? No, I don't even know how to do that. I wouldn't either. If I bought tickets
I don't know how to do it. I mean, I figured it out, but.
Okay, great. So what do you think's happening? He says, do you know how many people are on the wait list? And I said, not specifically, but I would guess it's more than I can count. And he used the number 20,000. Okay. And I said, you could tell me any number and I'd believe it. Sure. I mean, Alabama fans, very passionate, great. Okay. I said, and he says, so what's happening is they see my donation. He says, what I think is happening is they see my donation. I don't know whether it's 3,000, 6,000, 10,000, whatever the case may be. And they said his insinuation, and this makes me feel icky. His insinuation was that they thought, oh, you've had these tickets too long. Your donation is, we'll just say $6K.
Do you know, is it a situation where, like, say you started this in 2003, 4, like he did, are you grandfathered into paying the same donation amount every year? Or does it, say if I signed up in 2003 and it was $3,000, and someone signs up in 2020, are they paying a lot more than I'm paying every year?
I think that's what he's getting at. Yes, exactly. I'm paying, and he says they think they can cancel my season tickets, and the next person up on the wait list, they'll pay $20,000. So instead of my $6,000, they're ready to go. They're ready to rent. And so NIL era, we got to bring money into the stool. We're losing all kinds of this and that. He's saying that they're canceling my season tickets under the guise of you. So, and he admitted it. He acknowledged that, look, I do know that it says on there, we own the rights to these tickets. We can revoke these tickets. He says, I get that. I grasp that. It's there. I'm sort of renting their tickets per se. And it is their prerogative. But he said, it's wrong that I've been paying these donations for X amount of years. And he said, I did kind of have an internal. He said, I stayed with the dark times. And I thought to myself, 2004 to 7 is, well, it wasn't that long before you started winning national titles. But I get your point.
Sure.
The long-time loyalty is a big point, massive point.
20 years.
And he says, oh, they're canceling under the guise of you didn't do the right things with your tickets because the next person up in waiting list will pay 15, we'll pay 20, we'll pay 25, we'll pay whatever the number is, the new donation mark is, and they can essentially, bam, up their budget by just upsetting a couple of people. I want to keep going on this story. So if you're a season ticket holder and you're willing to chat with me, jump in my DMs, jump in my comments, jump in whatever social media that you like to use, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. It's all Joe Gaither 6. I want to know what's going on with you. How much are you donating? Do you feel like you're at a risk of losing your tickets? He says that he's gone to different buddies, and they've said, and many other people get in this letter. He said he's gone to different buddies who are higher up than he is in the priority list as far as donation, and they've told him, yeah, they said that the narrative to the Tide Pride is we're only canceling the people who sold their tickets to ticket brokers, this, that, and the other. Now, this man could have lied to me. Could have.
I mean, at the end of the day, someone is lying.
Right.
I am going to lean towards the side of the multi-million-dollar corporation labeled as a university.
Yeah, take over. Go ahead. That's what this is. I'm almost done. You almost have all the information. Go ahead.
That's just, I mean, again, we don't know. It could not be the case. This man could have lied to Joe. Who knows? If this is the case, this is so beyond disgusting. It is spitting in the face of everyone that supports you, everyone that has donated, everyone that has cheered, everyone that has shown up on Saturdays, shown up in the middle of the week, shown up for A-Day games, shown up on the days where you let them storm the field to get autographs and talk to players. It is so gross. And if this is what it's going to be, you will lose every passionate fan that you have in favor of someone who just says, oh, I got a lot of money. I can just show up in a little social event, have a good time, drink some beers. Every bit of passion that is there for this team will be gone in that stadium. You will have no home field advantage any longer. It will be nothing but a popularity contest on Saturdays to see who makes it into the stadium. It's so gross. I hate this. It rattles me to my core. We try to be objective on this show, obviously, but I have grown up my entire life an Alabama fan. Lived in Alabama since I was born. It makes me sick to my stomach to think that the team I grew up watching and loving and crying over as a child now has turned around and completely just spit in the face of everyone that feels that way about them. If this is the case, it's absolutely disgusting.
He says, I have been able to provide receipts for anybody and cancel checks for anybody that I've given tickets to or done tickets with. I've got a friend. We have a coworker whose father has 2 or 3 different sets of tickets in the stadium. And the games that I have not worked many times. Joe, you want to go on my dad's ticket? Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And it makes me think, I know that our coworker's dad buys these tickets. He's got seats in a nice spot for himself and the wife, but he's got other seats. And I've sat up there with several different people at different times that he just uses as you're my friend. I want people to have a good time. Thanks for being nice to my son, maybe. I didn't take it that way, but that, it's I don't think that our coworker's father is doing anything wrong because, granted, I did not pay the coworker's father anything. He didn't sell his tickets. Mm-hmm. That ticket still got used. I sat there and go, rah, 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 roll Tide. I experienced the Texas game up there, and it was one of the greatest 3 hours in that stadium I've ever had, despite losing. This is icky. This is I know college sports is big business. And I realize we're going this way. But you're killing the sport. You're still killing you're killing the sport, and you're killing the loyalty.
Shame on you. So much shame.
If this is, and I want to keep chasing this. So, like, if you're on the university side,
would love to talk to you as well.
1,000%. 1,000%. I would, because I want to be as fair as we can here. I think there's still more to this story to find out.
I think my biggest issue, again, if this is all true, is the lying on the university's part and the lack of transparency with the Tide Pride folks, the folks who are donating these exorbitant amounts of money. I don't know what the exact figures are, but I know that it is a lot of money. Just to turn around and be like, you little dumb folks, don't just ignore what we're doing.
You just got priced out.
Throw this little lie at you. You're fine.
Right. And this gentleman says, apparently there was an appeals process, and he said, and his buddy who was higher up in the priority said, yeah, do the appeal and see what happens, and he says, okay, I did the appeal, and what did you get? Just a stock email. Thanks for your response. We'll get back to you. Or thanks for your response. The bots have determined we're still denying.
No one's going to look at those.
It's like the AI response sends me into level 12. Like, no matter what I'm doing, send support email this isn't working. AI response, yes, it is. It's like there's no human on the other end of the line. Like,
nothing I hate more than an automated phone call. Pro tip: if you ever get one of those, you just start violently screaming into the phone, and they will connect to the phone almost immediately. Yeah, works every time. Every time. And then you connect like, hey, how are you? Great day. I'm doing good. Yeah, no big deal. But yeah,
I just don't want to deal with press 1 for accounting, press 2 for receivables.
Yeah, you let that robot know what kind of day you're having. They'll connect you with a person.
Press 0 to repeat these options. No,
this is to the point. I'm gonna.
It makes me. This is really icky, brother.
I'm done defending it. I'm not gonna defend you, Alabama.
It's really icky.
I'm no longer going to be a supporter of yours in my free time when I am not working. I don't want to be a fan of any university, any athletic department that's associated with this sort of activity. It's absolutely disgusting.
I really don't like it at all. And I love college sports, but you're not, man. If 3 years ago Joe could hear me now, because I was all about NIL.
Oh, me too.
I was all about bring it on. And people, I had older people, it's not going to be sustainable, Joe. And I thought, who cares? It needs to break. It does need to break, but it needs to break to be fixed. But instead of breaking, the university sides just continue to stretch. How far can we take this?
How much more money can we get? I mean, it's the same conversation we had 10 minutes ago.
What more money?
Khan. You don't need that much money. It's insane. No one needs that much money. You have enough damn money. Oh my gosh. It makes me so angry. This just the hoarding of wealth. Just we're gonna take it all. We want more. We need more money. We need to scrape the bottom of the barrel and take everything we can for ourselves. It is so disgusting and awful, and I hate you for it. It's so bad. It makes me talk about getting you to level 12. Nothing gets me more angry than people just hoarding wealth and doing nothing with it. Your university is in constant construction. You can't fix anything. They had my wife, my lovely, beautiful wife that I love very much, works at the university. Their bathroom in the office flooded this week. The plan was, we're going to see if we can fix it without having to bust up the concrete, because that's going to cost too much money to bust up the concrete. 3 days later, bathroom is still flooded. Office is filled with sewage water.
Oh, God.
Now we decide, we got to bust up the concrete. What are we doing? It makes me so mad. It makes me so angry. The endowment for this university is billions. You have enough damn money. Quit nickel and diming people. It's so gross.
Nickel and dime the regular folk, too.
Golly, man. Go talk to damn Nick Saban and get millions of dollars from his ass. Golly. Don't do it to Jimmy Joe from freaking Red Bay, Alabama, who lives paycheck to paycheck and wants nothing more than to come support the Tide on Saturdays.
Yeah.
It's so awful.
You talk.
God, you have hundreds of NFL alumni. They get paid millions of dollars to play a children's game. Go ask them for money. Golly, man.
To your point,
so mad.
This gentleman said the guy that I usually end up giving, transferring tickets to, when we made this arrangement, however many years ago, he went and bought a Tiffin motorhome so he could drive down every week and make it a big party. Like, I understand when I first came to school was when Nick Saban first arrived, and I understand the social dynamics on campus immediately changed with the 2009 national championship, because you see it now in the student population. It is more out of state than in-state people. I understand that it's more like you can make more money from the kids from Chicago, the kids from Texas and California and New York. Yeah, and like I have no issue with them coming. They come, enjoy the South, enjoy football, great. Get out of the cold Northeast, whatnot. But I think you've turned your back on who you are.
Yes, it is nothing but greed. I mean, it is purely just greedy, grimy, disgusting people who are making these decisions and looking out for no one but themselves.
So I want to know if you got your season tickets canceled, and I want to know what you think the reason was. And if you're on the university side, or you know someone that I can talk to, even if it's anonymously. I mean, you heard this conversation. We did not out this gentleman's name or any of his buddies, and he told me a lot of names that I thought, I know that name. Oh, I know that name too. Oh, that's a big guy. Oh, that's a fat cat. It's like, I find this really, really disgusting just because of the direct. It goes back to, and we talked about it with a gentleman. It goes back to the Jalen and Mbakwe situation this past year. Love you, Jalen. This is not about you specifically. It's the concept. Yeah. Let's say I'm Joe Schmo and I'm giving my money to Alabama, and Jalen Mbakwe is my favorite player. Mm-hmm. I love him so much. I went and bought his jersey. Yeah, my son has his jersey. Whatever. We bought a framed picture of him to put on the son's wall. And he plays, does a little bit in this freshman year. Not a lot, but enough to like, oh, yeah, he's going to be a player. We're going to like him eventually. And then, I'm getting tampered with. I'm not. I'm going to leave. I'm going to go to Ole Miss. I'm going to stay. I'm going to switch. Just kills imagine going to your son. Oh, yeah, that favorite player X, he transferred to your rival. Like, how do you talk about? You listen to Mason. Oh, grew up loving Alabama. Imagine Julio Jones transfers out.
I mean, I would have been inconsolable.
Right. Would your fandom be the same today?
I don't think I would have spent the next 10 years being a diehard Alabama fan,
So I'm really disappointed with the way that the entirety of the sport is going. From a business standpoint, like, pay the kids, sure. I had somebody, okay, I need to go to this comment because I had somebody a couple weeks ago leave me a comment. Where we are, right there. Bam, 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 bam. The problem with college sports, he says, is not the transfer portal or NIL. It's the failure to rip the Band-Aid off and admit these students, while they may be students, are employees of the university. Until that happens, or a new satellite entity is created that allows a for-profit sports league under the umbrella of the university, college sports is going to die at the hands of one lawsuit or another over the next 5 to 10 years. It makes me sad. We will have the Live Football Sports League instead.
That's where it's headed.
So I appreciated that gentleman's time on the phone yesterday.
Yeah, because, look, I've done a complete 180 from Monday's show on this situation, given some more context. And I'm happy to admit I was wrong on Monday. Or, well, potentially wrong on Monday. I guess we still don't know all the facts, but.
He says, He told me, I said, well, did they give you an opportunity to bump your donation up? No. Did they tell you, well, if you just bump it from 6 to 15 or from 3 to whatever he was paying? I'm using 6 as an example. He didn't say that.
20,000 other people. They don't have to.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're just a number on the. I mean, Alabama fans, folks. Greg Byrne don't know you. Stuart Bell don't know you. Kalen DeBoer don't know you. You're just a number on a screen. You're just a number on a spreadsheet. You're just another dollar in their bank account.
That's what's really disappointing to me is if your reason is you're not donating enough, fine, perfect. Just live in the truth. That's fine. Sure. You're not donating enough, and let Billy Smith, Joe Schmo, let whoever decide. Oh, they said I'm not donating enough, and I have to up my donation $5,000 to stay in. Let them make that decision.
Yeah.
And if I don't have $5,000 more to donate, I guess I'm out. Okay. Then they realize instead of we're canceling your tickets because you were using a ticket broker. No,
because the new people coming in, they don't. To them, it's just, oh, okay, yeah, this is just the flight. This is just what it costs. It's not, oh, the guy that got kicked out was paying half of what I'm paying now. So it's so gross. I mean, it is lying. You are using deception to trick people and get more money.
Yeah, it's really a problem. It's really disgusting to me. So
I don't know, legally what's going on. If there's
they're within their rights because it says we reserve the rights for our tickets.
Direct lying to everyone involved and not being transparent.
Well, who cares? I mean, it's not. Yeah. That doesn't matter.
Sure,
it's not it's still under their business practice.
I reckon. Gross, though.
But that's what makes me even more grosser to me. If you just had said we're canceling Billy's tickets because he's not donating enough, okay. That sucks for Billy.
Accept it.
Yeah, it sucks for Billy.
I still think it's gross.
All right. We got to tell you about Derek Daniels, State Farm Insurance, as we get off this. Because look, and if you want to have some comments or have some thoughts, please give them to us. If you think I'm out of line, am I out of line? I'm open to being wrong. If you're on the university side, you think, Joe, you've got this all wrong, please bring it on. Bring it on because I want to know and get to the bottom of this.
Go to bat for the multimillionaires. Please.
Sure. We're live in the Derek Daniels State Farm Studios, just off McFarland Boulevard. You can find us past the Tiger Rock on the left, just past Rustic Rehab as well. I've been using Tiger Rock a lot, but lots of people know Rustic Rehab, and it's literally 100 yards away from Rustic Rehab. Past the Rustic Rehab on the left, you can call Derek and his team if you don't want to come up here. 205-758-3391 for all of your insurance needs. Red, Reese, Victoria, they'll be happy to talk to you. Even if you just got a simple question or if you just want to check it out, they'll run you an auto insurance quote, homeowner's insurance quote. They can work with you on really any of your insurance needs. Call Derek Daniel and his team today at 205-758-3391. Still a little bit wet outside. Make sure you're insured properly as you're driving around Tuscaloosa and West Alabama. Call Derek and his team, 205-758-3391. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. So call and see how much Derek can save you today. All right. Do we have one more? We do have one more. It's Jalen Milroe, right?
This is much easier to talk about.
Is it?
Well, I mean, it's just... Hey. We know what's going on here.
Jalen Milroe is doing the Radio Row interviews yesterday at Super Bowl Media Day or Super Bowl. They have the radio out there all week long. All the shows travel to the Super Bowl. Maybe one day we'll do that, but I don't really have any interest in that.
Maybe if it's in like New Orleans,
It was in New Orleans.
Oh, duh.
It is in New Orleans.
Never mind. In my head, I'm thinking like, yeah, they went out to Vegas or California or something. Like, no, it is New Orleans. Duh.
We probably could have seeing some of the media folks down there. We probably could have gotten a credential.
Man, I
did
want to talk to you about this because the amount of people that I have seen that somehow were able to get credentials and then show up and ask Patrick Mahomes, "Hey Pat, what's your favorite referee?" God, you're making a mockery of this business and like you're bringing a bad name to everyone involved. Gross. Really, really gross. Taking away a spot from someone who deserves it and also just putting a bad name on any sports reporter.
I was offended this week on Monday night. CHGO, a Chicago-based media organization who has a lot of people that I do like. You offended me deeply by going up to Trey Smith, the Kansas City Chiefs guard, who is he has one game left in his contract. He's going to be a free agent. But the next game is the dadgum Super Bowl. Hey, what would you think about playing for the Bears? What's it going to take for you to what do you think about free agency? What do you think about the Bears could sure use you? Oh, the Windy City. I like your Jordans. Your Jordans will look good in Chicago. It's like, oh my, you are embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing all of us.
Like I love, and I think it's awesome that anybody that wants to, you can go pick up a microphone. You can go on the internet, you can make your own show, and if you're good at it, you can build up a following, and you can get a lot of people that like you and like what you put out. I think that's awesome. You no longer have to battle ESPN, CBS, ABC, whatever. But man, we gotta be a little more selective with who we're letting show up here, folks. Make podcast equipment more expensive. I don't know.
Yeah. I was offended when I saw that. Yeah. Yes, Trey Smith is the guy we all want. We're all in agreement, Bears fans, but we need to stay in our own little corner. This is not our week.
He has not even pondered that. He is. Yeah, no. I saw multiple clips of people asking various Chiefs players, how does it make you feel when the refs help you? I saw somebody asking Travis Kelce, does he have? Oh, do you have any Kanye West on your workout playlist? What are we doing?
So Jalen Milroe's there. And Jalen Milroe's there to sell himself, really.
Yep.
Which he should be. No problem with you being there. He's doing the radio interviews, and Jalen Milroe is with two big shots, Mike Florio and Chris Sims, and the pros. Don't really love you, Florio. I think Florio is kind of a grifter. Yeah, but Chris Sims, I do love.
Florio loves him some drama.
Yeah. And
loves to speculate.
Yeah, definitely. But I do love me some Chris Sims. I think Chris Sims has a really good perspective on the game. But the comment came. They asked him, "Oh, what do you think about changing positions?" And he says, "Nah, it's always been a good from Jalen Milroe. Nah, it's always been quarterback. Of course, the questions asked, switching positions, stuff like that. What I can do, but you never ask a zebra to be a dog.
We are two animals to pick."
You know what he's going for?
You're trying to say, you never ask a unique talent to be something basic?
No, the cliche is you never ask a zebra to change its stripes. Or the other is you don't ask a leopard to change its spots. Those are the cliche. Look, Jalen, if you're going to be a cliche master, and you have shown that that's the path you want to go on, the cliche is you don't ask a zebra to change its stripes.
I just where do you get zebra and dog from in the same thought? Because I heard the quote and my immediate thought was zebra dog, not zebra horse or cat dog cat. It's just zebra to dog. I need to know. That's a unique mind right there. Maybe a mind that the NFL could utilize. Maybe that's what he's trying to do. He's showing everybody, I'm a unique thinker.
I'm going to take an old cliche and rework it and make it unique and make it fun. And I mean, it still works a little bit. I get your point.
I
understand a zebra versus a dog. You can't change somebody from who they are. I get that. But if your lane is I am the cliche master, and it has been your lane for the last 3 bleeping years, oh my gosh, drives me nuts to listen to.
Even that interview, that's the we gotta get 1% better every day. You gotta go 1-0 every day. It's full of them. Although he does open up a little bit in that one.
Let's sidebar.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an NFL team, what position would you change him to? You can't change him. Okay.
That's the only thing. And that's not a position. I do a lot of things, but that's the only role that you can have for Jalen Milroe.
He's not a running back.
No.
He's not a wide receiver.
No.
He's not a tight end.
He's not. But he could do some kind of weird hybrid combination of all three potentially on some gadget plays.
Yeah. You remember
Blake? In there to block?
You remember? No.
He's going to have to learn how to do something to make himself valuable in the league.
Yeah, I don't want to run behind his butt at all. I think that he's going to get blown up in the hole. And all you're doing, and no disrespect, but my perception is you're just going out there and getting in the way if you're blocking somebody, Jalen Milroe.
I don't know what you do. I don't know how you make him fit any scheme, really, unless
Taysom Hill's probably a good answer.
That is
Bobcat quarterback-ish.
For him. That's the best situation, I think, for him. And that's a really good career, don't get me wrong.
I mean, if you can cash checks, you're doing good.
Yeah.
Period. People will talk about failure, success. If you cash checks, you are a success. Period. I just don't know that there's a.
He's closer to Tom Brady than I am. You know.
Definitely. And oh gosh, people need to remember that. People absolutely need to remember that. He sucks. Jalen sucks. Okay, maybe he's not going to be Tom Brady, but he definitely doesn't suck, folks. Like he's going to be drafted.
It's the Brian Scalabrine thing where he played pickup with the kid, and he told the kid, "I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me."
Okay, the other thing that popped out to me from this Jalen Milroe, no, Jalen was with a lot of people. That was the quote from PFT with Mike Florio and Chris Sims, but he was also with this is USA Today's Lorenzo Reyes was what we listened to before the show.
This is like the only time I've ever seen him open up even a little bit.
Yeah, he got after Lorenzo a little bit. Lorenzo was asking him about the college football playoff and being left out, and if his perception had changed on the Big Ten, this, that, and the other. And Jalen went right into how many ranked wins did they have? How many ranked wins did they have?
The reporter backed down.
He was like, "Oh, I'm just asking.
Just asking questions, Jalen. Please don't hurt me. I've never seen this side of you, Jalen."
Yeah, because it's all been robot.
That question struck a nerve.
Jalen, would you please have given us that for the last 3 years? Like, it's fine if we got on your nerves.
I mean, if you're a GM, like, to me, I would much rather see the personality. I'd much rather see you cut up a little bit on the interview. Yes, because it's so obvious how manufactured all of his answers are, and it comes off as very disingenuous. To me, that was always the issue I had with Cam Newton. The issue I had with Tim Tebow when he was prominent. It was just like everything they did felt so manufactured. Cam Newton would just sit up there and smile.
This is what I'm supposed to say.
Yeah, it always got on my nerves. Now, Cam Newton has taken that and gone the complete opposite direction after his playing career with it, but that's beside the point.
The other thing that stood out to me in this little interview with Lorenzo are the 3 quarterbacks he said he watches, that he wants to model his game after, or that he likes to, or that he wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
He picks Joe Burrow, quarterback for the Bengals. He picks Brock Purdy, quarterback for the 49ers. And then he says, and Lamar Jackson's so fun to watch. Basically, I've got... What did I hear?
So I model my game after.
Yeah, this is what I heard. I heard, I want to be Joe Burrow. I wish I could, because he talks about Brock Purdy playing on time, getting the ball out. And when he said playing on time, I thought, when have you ever played on time in your life? I mean, okay, that's an exaggeration.
When the first read is there.
That's an exaggeration. I'm sorry. I messed up. That's not right. But playing on time is not your MO. We'll say that. That's fair.
Sure.
You have played on time before. That's true.
When your first read's there. That's about it. You never really got to that second or third.
Shoot, there was sometimes that I think he didn't even trust his first read. That it's like, maybe. So Brock, go ahead.
No, keep it because it's not even. Just the interception against Oklahoma we talked about extensively. It was the one where he kind of, he held it out there for a second and then short-armed it and he throws a pick. That's a perfect example. But anyway.
Yeah, to me, I heard this during the last couple of years from different people that, Jalen Milroe views himself as a pocket passer. We remember that from 2 years ago when it was like, oh, you can run. Nick Saban was like encouraging him a little bit to run. And so you pick Joe Burrow and Brock Purdy, and it feels like to me is, oh, I need to say someone who can run. I need to have a dual threat. Oh, Lamar Jackson's fun to watch.
Could not be more different, those two players.
But he's not like any of the three of them.
No.
He's not like any of them.
How funny would it have been if he had said Taysom Hill? Yeah, I watched a lot of Taysom Hill tape. That guy, he's spectacular. What he's able to do in the game.
He should have just said Anthony Richardson. I'm better than Anthony Richardson. I can be what Anthony Richardson's like.
He might be able to be better than Anthony Richardson. I mean, Anthony Richardson's pretty terrible.
Awful.
Pretty awful.
Awful.
Pushing Tim Tebow for the worst completion percentage of all time, I believe, through one season.
But these are the three quarterbacks you're watching, and you think that you share like.
I would love, and they didn't get the opportunity, but I would have loved to have heard the reporter or the interviewer really like ask him to dig in. Like, okay, what aspects of their game do you think translate to what you do? Seen kind of how he handled that. I don't know what he would have come up with.
Joe Burrow, the master of subtlety in the pocket. Just a little move here, a little move there, a little step back, and then.
Be sick.
When has Jalen ever been subtle in the pocket? He is either standing there like a statue, or it is
happy feet.
Big motion left, big motion right, escape out the back. Look, I'm pulling for you, brother.
Yes. Let's reiterate that. I want Jalen Milroe to succeed,
but
just don't think it's in the cards.
Yeah. Woo! We just went an hour and talking about nothing. Well, I think that's all I have for the day. Unless you want to circle back or say anything, I don't want to cut you off on any of the topics that we said. Anything off the table for you?
No, I think I got a lot off my chest today.
Oh gosh! You follow Mason Woods at @MAWoods_, myself at Joe Gaither 6 on all the social media machines. We appreciate you guys so much for downloading us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon. We see you guys downloading, rating, and reviewing the show, and it really means a lot to me. I really, really, really appreciate that. We'll get out of here for the day, and we'll talk about Alabama and Arkansas tomorrow. I'm sure that we will hear from head coach Nate Oates tomorrow, so we'll find out, how the guys getting ready for the road trip. Bud Walton Arena, 20,000 people. Okay, getting excited. Trying to keep it going as Alabama vies for the SEC regular season championship. That will be our main focus tomorrow, and we'll find out or we'll watch for more news items throughout the day. Again, if you want to talk about tickets, comments are available. Please. We're right here. We want to know your story. We appreciate everybody who joined us right here on the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central and BamaCentral.com.
Thanks for joining us on today's edition of the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. Keep up with Joe on all his social media pages at Joe Gaither 6. Subscribe, rate, and review the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and be sure to read us daily at BamaCentral.com.